Hi, and welcome to the first of the series tutorials on collecting and visualizing urban informatics and modelling data. This tutorial will teach you how to visualize the density of zones within the Maribyrnong City Council of Melbourne using Vicplan. Once you've navigated to the Vicplan website, using the search bar, search your designated area. By searching Maribyrnong, you'll have address, street, locality, council, multiple options show up, as it isn't just a council itself, it's an address, a street name, suburb. Making sure that you're selecting the exact one you want by selecting Maribyrnong underneath the council. Vicplan will then zoom you in and show you the area you've selected by outlining it with a blue dashed line. By selecting layers, you'll then be able to see all the options that you can toggle on and off to visualize on your map. As we're only focusing on the zones within the Maribyrnong Council, everything else we are going to toggle off. So toggling off base maps, property, overlay, and as you do that, the map will update instantly. Now if we go through and we select all of the zones off, and then turn them on one by one, we'll be able to see where each is and what has the most. So by selecting residential, we can see here that this particular area seems to be more dense as the colour is more solid. Now in this case, we want to know which area this is in, which suburb, and where the boundary line lies to see if it's across multiple. This is something we will add in just a moment. So again, going through, same thing for industrial, commercial, rural, public land zones, and the special purpose. By selecting the plus next to each of the zones, you'll also be able to see the key in terms of what each colour is represented for. So obviously the most dark colour, so where the most dense is, that's the mixed use zone. Again, we've got the township zone, neighbourhood, and if scrolling down, that's the same for each of them. By going up here to map and selecting layer catalogue, you'll be able to add in additional layers that we can toggle on and off within the map. Now, as we want to show boundary lines and suburbs, selecting boundary and selecting township boundary, locality boundary, local government area dashed, and solid. Once everything else that you're wanting is selected, select OK, and it will update on the map instantly and show up in your layer list on the side. Now by turning them all off, you can then go through one by one and pick what you want to show on your map and then edit that. So looking at township boundary and how that appears on the map, again for locality boundary, local government area dashed, which local government area solid, same thing but a solid line rather than dashed. In this case, I'm going to pop locality boundary and local government area solid. By selecting the little arrow next to each of the options, you'll see the locality boundary boxes come up here. Going to the bottom, customize labels, you'll be able to then edit what you see on the map. So we want to change the color to black and the font size up to 10. By selecting apply, it will update instantly on the map. And again, once you're happy with what you see on the map, you can select done, and that will take you back to the previous options and select the little X. Then you'll be back to your layer list and you can do the same for each other option. So again, for the locality government area solid, customize labels, color, you can go black as well. And then we can say size 6 and apply. As you can see, the line's gone to black, and then the Maribyrnong in the centre, because it's the Maribyrnong Council, is now also black rather than blue. You can also change the field in which it shows. So if you don't want just the name, you can change it to if it had a different official name and update. Maribyrnong City. Again, you can change it to the code rather than the name. Apply. In this case, it doesn't have a code. And that's what I'm going to leave it as, because I want the outline, but I don't necessarily want the Maribyrnong name or code within the center, because I know that's the area that I'm focusing on. And by selecting done, and then the little X, we're back here to our options. If we scroll back down to zones, you can also toggle this little dialog up and down. This will change the color of the zones, showing them to appear lighter or darker. Now this changes for all of them, not just the ones that are selected. So whether they're toggled on or off, all of the zones within this will change. So if we select industrial zone, as you can see, it's at the same heaviness as the residential. So as commercial is switched off, it's also updating with the residential and the industrial as we toggle it. So I'm going to have it at center so it's not too heavy, but you can still see it clearly. Now once you've gone through and added all the options that you wish to add, I'm selecting them all. You can export it as an image if you wish to. In this case, I'm going to export each zone separately so that I can show each of the zones clearly and it's not too much happening. So I'll be going through and I'll be exporting residential, industrial, commercial, public land and special purpose, as there's nothing for rural, individually, so that each map shows one option, and then I can also have the key relating to that map. So to export it, going back up to home and going to export, you'll then have this option here where you can select the option that you want to export it as. So whether it's a PNG, a JPEG, a TIFF, depending on what you're wanting, or a PDF. In my case, I'm going to export it as a PDF and create the image. And then, so once it's down there, you get this little tab, view image. And there you go. So that map has been exported as a PDF, and that's how it will appear. So I'll be going through and doing this for each of them, and you can do the same, or you can do it as one by having all the options toggled on and export it as the one map. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.